It's been 18 games since we played away at City last time. Of those 18, we've only lost once against Aston Villa. Manchester United right now, the momentum flowing through every fibre of the club is good. Everybody's heading in the right direction. But beating Forest, beating Wolves, beating Bournemouth, that's not going to win you leagues. That's not going to get you back to where you want to be. But beating City and Arsenal, that's what United have got coming up in the next 3 games, with Palace sandwiched in between. But the derby on Saturday. This is going to be my starting 11, my prediction for the game. Hey, look, I kept on the Dutch shirt. It's Dutch energy flowing through the club right now. Ten Hag's our boss. Weghorst, will he be in the squad to face City in the derby? I'm going to run through everything in this video. Make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. But yeah, it's a massively different feeling around the club compared to where we were and the feeling that we had going into that derby last time. There was a month gap between City away and Arsenal at home after the break and the Queen passing away and the 2 games against Palace and Leeds that were cancelled, and we didn't play well whatsoever. It was a horrible game. First 45 minutes, we were run off the park. We avoided it being an absolute calamity, but it was 6-3 instead of 6. How was it? It was just a different shade of shit. It has to be completely different for this game. And I tell you what, the momentum going... The one thing I feel genuinely confident about here is a performance. Now, I think I might have said something similar last time, and that didn't really work out. But this time, I don't think that same sort of drop-off will happen. Now, of course, this is the team that played Charlton, and I don't have to tell you, there is going to be a substantial amount of changes to that team. And I tell you what game I think Ten Hag will be looking at for an example of what we need to do against City is, of course, that 2-0 win over Spurs at Old Trafford. It's the most complete performance where we play with a high aggressive pressing game at Old Trafford against good opposition, and we did it very, very well. So I think we can learn a thing or two by taking a look at the starting 11 who played in that game. And there will be a lot of similarities from that team into this team, starting first and foremost with the return of Varane and Martinez at centre-back. And I am looking forward to seeing these two back together, man. First time since the World Cup. Varane was rested against Charlton. Martinez got 90 minutes, but I think he'll be fit to play. And we need them back, man. They are by some margin the best centre-back partnership we've got at the club. And we need it. We need the confidence and the leadership of both of them. The passing from Martinez, the composure from Varane, and the quality of the pair together. It's going to be crucial because City were terrible against Southampton, right? But they're not going to be terrible against us. And let's not pretend that they will be. Now, at fullback, I am going for Luke Shaw and I am going for Diogo Dalot. Because I think even though Diogo Dalot went off with a bit of a niggle and a concern against Charlton, I think it was slightly precautionary more than anything. He felt something. But in the same way, I suppose you can't build partnerships up from different sides of the pitch. But Shaw and Dalot just been fantastic at different points this season for United. Both that arguably still are fantastic. Luke Shaw played great as the left centre-back in replacement of Martinez when he wasn't there. But Luke Shaw, he's so much better as a left-back. He is the best left-back that we've got by some margin. And we're going to need his overlapping runs and Dalot as well. Both of them, they're going to play as the inverted fullbacks, going up and helping the press, helping the attack of United. But also, just as a complete defence, this defence by some margin. But Tom Heaton, big up Tom Heaton for his performance against Charlton. But of course, De Gea comes back in. That's us. When they're all fit, that is our back 5. Without question. And it's good to have that sort of settled team. Now, I think that's quite an easy conversation to have about our back 5. It's when you move into midfield that you get questions, but not about this guy. And I'll be completely honest. If Man United are going to get the result that we want on Saturday, Casemiro will be man of the match. He is the key. He is the difference. And for the first time in so many years, I'm going into a derby as a United fan, and I think that our midfield can not only compete with City, I think we can control the game ahead of City. Casemiro is the guy for this game in terms of just absolutely every aspect. He is critical to whether or not we're going to win this game. Casemiro is going to be there screening the back 4 when needed. Casemiro, as he's shown, can be in these positions with the ball here and just fine. The guy's passing range has blown me away. It really has blown me away. But he is going to be the critical part of this midfield. And I think the really interesting part is who partners him in midfield. Because I think this is where you start getting questions. Let me explain that. I'm not questioning Christian Eriksen's quality. I'm questioning the tactic that Ten Hag is going to apply to this game. So let's, for example, right, obviously Kobbie Mainoo is not going to be starting. Made a decent debut against Charlton. Eriksen there instead of Mainoo. That, as a midfield duo, has been working very well for Manchester United. It just depends what you think about the energy. Now, for me, I'm starting Christian Eriksen and I'm starting Casemiro. And I'm also starting Fred here. And as I said, this is where the conversation starts getting interesting. Fred, for me, if you're looking at this game as a blueprint, Fred was the guy, not just because he scored the first goal, but Fred was absolutely everywhere in terms of winning that ball back in the opposition third, and Man United are leading the Premier League stats in that sense, and City are second. Fred's the guy for it. He really is the guy for it. But of course, by doing that, I'm displacing Bruno Fernandes. And that's why I think we were going to see this. I think we'll see Bruno play out on the right-hand side. And he's played there quite a few times this season, and I think we'll be seeing him play there again. It's to allow Fred, to accommodate for Fred in that position, to accommodate from that aggressive front press, whilst also having the partnership of Casemiro and Eriksen in the middle. We need those two. Casemiro being the guy, we all know what he's going to do. He's going to be the enforcer to really try and block the passing lanes for De Bruyne. And then we need Eriksen to be able to be free in space to then bring it forward. Because Casemiro has shown against plenty of teams that he can do both. I don't think he'll be able to do both against City. It's City. It's a different level. They're going to be much better. So it should be Casemiro tasked with screening and protecting and just getting that ball to Eriksen in space as much as possible, which allows Fred to operate in this free roaming role and just pressing. Like I always call him a wasp. Not in a horrible sense, although wasps are arseholes. I'm not calling Fred an arsehole. But I'm just saying he's just going to be permanently pissing people, not our players, but just permanently buzzing around, moving around, pressing, winning that ball back high. And that allows Bruno. Now, Bruno might be down as a right winger here on paper, but Bruno's going to cut inside. He's going to drop deeper. It might leave a little bit of space, but nobody's better in the transition than Bruno. Nobody's got as much energy as Bruno. He'll be able to offer quite a lot of similarities in being available for the ball in this position, whilst also just making sure that he makes himself available on the right wing. And that's crucial as to why Dalot is quite important in this game as well, because he'll be tucking inside and also doing those overlaps. So for me, that's the midfield three I'm starting. I'm going for Casemiro, Eriksen with Fred just in front and Bruno on the right-hand side. And of course, there's a lot of questions to be asked about the attack. That means that Antony drops to the bench. And I think the energy is, I mean, he's got the energy and he's been scoring. But I think in the first 45 minutes, I think Ten Hag would prefer to have that as Fred with Bruno together and then maybe bringing Antony on in the second half. One man who, of course, is starting this game. And in the same way that I'm saying Casemiro is crucial in midfield, Marcus Rashford's our guy, man. Marcus Rashford has scored in 8 consecutive games at Old Trafford. It really is a special run that this guy is on. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And Marcus Rashford, make it 9 against City. Come on. And he likes scoring against City. I think he scored twice away at City. He scored in his debut away at City, if I remember correctly. I think he scored more against Liverpool at Old Trafford. He likes scoring against Liverpool. I'm not sure how many he scored against City at Old Trafford. Not off the top of my head. But he's our guy. And of course, there are questions about this man. That's why I've got my Holland shirt on. That's why he's up. Well, it's not why he's up there. He's always up there anyway. But there's a lot of Dutch energy going through the club right now. And Wout Weghorst, will he be in the squad in time to face City? And if he is, would you put him in the starting 11? I think he will be in the squad versus City. It seems like United have got time. He's flying to Manchester today. Get that medical done. Get it out the way. The contract signed. Boom. Get him registered. It shouldn't be an issue. We've got over 24 hours to do that. But there's no way he should be starting, even if he is there. Anthony Martial, he will be starting this game. And Anthony Martial, man, it's time to... Martial, for me, I think his movement's been good. I think he's been working well inside this front three. But he's got to... We need the numbers from him. As a goal scorer, you need to score goals. As much as you're helping the team and the movement and X, Y, Z, yes. But we need goals. And that's why we've now... Having a different option is excellent. And we may well see Weghorst's debut in the second half. You may well see him coming on for Martial in the 60th, 70th minute. I don't know. You could see that. Then you could see Bruno drop inside into the number 10 position. Fred come off. Antony go on the right wing. We've got options on the bench now. But I don't think we'll be seeing Weghorst start this game. But it strikes me as I think he'll make his debut, certainly depending on how the game's going. But that would be my starting 11. A back five of De Gea, Luke Shaw and Delot as our fullbacks, Martinez and Varane back as the centre-back partnership. A midfield three of Casemiro, Eriksen and Fred with Bruno on the right wing. But you know what he's going to be like. He's going to drop inside. He won't just be out there as an out-and-out winger. A Martial up front and Rashford on the left wing. Now, in terms of predictions, I really don't know what to expect from this game. United's momentum, we are banging it. The form is just continuous, game after game. We're repeating the same successes. And in this game, as I said, we need to see a performance like this, like we had against Spurs. That's what Ten Hag will be demanding, and that's why I think the energy of Fred and Bruno together will be there. I'm going to predict a score draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1. And I think I'd take that. Not in a negative sense. But remember that the beating City wasn't the measure of success for Manchester United this year. Getting inside that top four, competing against the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, that was our goal for this season. Now, the goalposts have changed somewhat, with Arsenal storming it and City all becoming fallible. They just lost there to Southampton and they were crap. Not one shot on target. City won't do that against us in the derby. They're going to come bang up for it. Full strength team out. It's going to be a hell of a game. And I think it should be a hell of a performance. That's why I'm going for energy in that first half. And there is a little bit of technical quality we can bring on from the bench. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. But if we beat City, woo-wee, momentum continues to build. Rashford, man, turn up like you have done the last 8 games at Old Trafford. Make it 9. Casemiro, I'm looking to you to lead that midfield. What a derby it's going to be on Saturday. And for the first time in a long time, we can say with utter confidence that as United fans, that we're going in this derby feeling that we can compete with City. Genuinely compete with City. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that genuinely.